Hello, I'm Chris Williams from Read Comics They're Bad For You, the name of my YouTube channel. Or if you're watching this in BitChute or Library, please subscribe to my channels on those two websites. They're both named Comic Freak. We're going to be talking about how entitled is the new toxic. SJWs latch onto specific adjectives like they're attached to them with superglue. When one SJW utters an adjective such as toxic, the rest of the drones are then required to recite it over and over again, at least until it begins to lose its oomph. Then a new objective must be found, and the cycle begins anew. And so the objective entitled seems to be replacing the objective toxic for the uneducated SJW. So the SJWs are going to run entitled into the ground till they're basically making everyone who hears that word wish their ears would fall from having them overuse it over and over again, just like they did to toxic. Well, that's what SJWs do. They swarm something like a bunch of cockroaches and basically destroy everything they touch. Stephen Kelly writes at the BBC in regards to the production crew improving the Sonic character in response to fan criticism, yet the unprecedented decision to redesign Sonic the Hedgehog to surrender so transparently to audience wishes represents something of a landmark moment in the modern relationship between artist and fan, the latter of whom, thanks to the connective power of the internet and a changing media landscape, has never been so influential, so vocal, and some would argue so entitled. Should fans have this much of a say in the pop culture they consume, and if so, what does it mean for an art itself? Except that it's not unprecedented at all. In response to the strange look of the Yoda puppet in Episode 1, George Lucas utilized a CG Yoda in Episode 2 and 3 that looked more like the puppet from Episode 5, and he would later change the Episode 1 puppet out for the CG Yoda entirely. That's what business that sell products like movies do. They cater to the demands of customers, just like Harrison Ford. This is how capitalism works. Fans have always had this power, even long before the internet as we know it today. It's why we never saw sequels to Battlefield Earth or Waterworld. Fans said no thanks, and it's why we'll never see a sequel to the misandrist Ghostbusters 2016's. Fans said, shove it. Which is something the guy who wrote for the BBC about how the fans are entitled just doesn't understand. The fans ultimately have the power because they choose what they want to see. People go to see movies because they want to. Sometimes it's a movie that they think it'll be good, or it's a take on something they already like and they want to see that character again on the big screen, or they buy something that is something they need or really want. Like, say, the shavers from Gillette. But what did Gillette do? They made a bunch of commercials basically, discouraging men from wanting to buy their product because they basically made it all about soy boys. And you can see they basically lost millions of dollars to even $1 billion just because of those commercials. On the other hand, the production crew listened to the criticism from fans, and the box office numbers showed it was a wise move to do so. If you want an impressive ministry of culture that imposes culture from top down with no opportunity for changes or improvements from fan feedback and criticism, then you can always move to communist China. No one is saying that artists can't create anything they want. They can, but artists shouldn't expect people to dole out money for something that they outright say they don't like. They won't, nor should they. If you're interested in genuine entertainment, then discuss those who demand the right to see a representation of themselves on screen for 2 hours. I mean, that's pretty much the argument right there this guy was making, right? Basically, they demand to see a representation of themselves in everything. They want art to reflect that. Then why can't people demand art that is better than that? Make it, like the classic movies that we always had, Ghostbusters, Die Hard, the real good movies that we had back in the 80s. Not this wave of propaganda films that are just using this woke politics to try and sell themselves. If you like this video, subscribe. Make sure you're still subscribed because YouTube is going around unsubscribing people, so make sure you're still subscribed. If you're watching my videos but you're not subscribed, please subscribe to my YouTube channel, Read Comics They're Bad For You. Then go over to Library and then BitChute and subscribe to my channels on those two websites. They're both named Comic Freak. Hit that bell for notifications, hit that like button, and leave some comments down below. And if you could you also please share this video, share it on Twitter, share it on Reddit, and share it on Facebook. Facebook, share it anywhere you think it'll do the most good, because YouTube is not going around promoting their own YouTube creators anymore. So please share this video. Now listen closely. It's plug-in time again. Yes, it's that time of the day again. Keep checking back in all my future videos for more information on my own upcoming independent comic book scumdogs. I'm Chris Williams, and I'll be back again tomorrow with another video or review.